Okay, so let's look for a minute at the pure ELA Common Core vocabulary, the way the document is organized. First thing you need to understand is that it's organized into 4 strands. So if you look at the upper left where my cursor is, the first strand highlighted in orange is reading, move right. Second is writing strand, speaking and listening strand, and language strand. The strands do not change K-12 regardless. Furthermore, the document is broken down into anchor standards, highlighted in blue if you look at the upper left, once again where my cursor is. Think of anchor standards almost as umbrellas. What do you want a student who is college and career ready to leave school knowing how to do in reading, writing, speaking and listening, and language? Furthermore, each anchor standard is divided into what are called clusters. And it's not so important that you understand the terminology of clusters. It is the language of the document, but it's just an organizational system. It's almost like paragraphs. So each anchor standard, if you follow my cursor down, is divided into almost categories. So there are 4 in reading, 4 in writing, 2 in speaking and listening, and 6 in language, sorry. And what you also need to understand is that these clusters and anchor standards are going to be the exact same within grade level standards that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Another thing you need to understand is that the strands, highlighted in orange, look at my cursor middle left, are then divided into substrands. And for pure ELA, the substrands are under reading, and that would include reading for literature and reading for information. In the ELA classroom, that should be a 50-50 split. Now you're going to hear the ratio of 70-30, and in a student's day, he should be reading 70% nonfiction, 30% fiction. In the English classroom, he should be reading 50-50. Now you're going to later hear about further substrands that have to do with literacy that affect every teacher in the district. The auto mechanics teacher, the science teacher, the history teacher, etc. And that's a 612 issue. Quite honestly, as an ELA teacher, if you understand the reading for information, and if you clearly understand the writing strand, you are basically covering the literacy strands as well. You will definitely receive training, or have already received training, in the literacy substrands. Now, when we get down to grade level standards, highlighted in pink, see my cursor in the lower left, what you need to understand is that there is very definite vertical alignment, and that the grade level standards match anchor standards. So if I have a kindergarten grade level standard number 1, it's going to match the anchor standard number 1, but it's going to vertically align. So the skills I teach in kindergarten for the anchor standard number 1 are going to be different from the skills I teach in first grade to make me arrive at anchor standard number 1, are going to be different than the skills I teach in second grade to arrive at anchor standard number 1, or anchor standard number 5, or number 8, or whatever it is. So there's very definite vertical alignment. So if you're a 9-10 teacher, 9th or 10th grade teacher, you're going to have a specific set of skills that help you arrive at the overall umbrella, the anchor standards, what you want the student to be able to do when he leaves high school in the 12th grade and is college and career ready. This new curriculum is very good, very dense. It takes a little time to understand. If you feel confused, remember that we will offer you several graphic organizers to help you try to understand the document. You might need to go back and forth a bit between the actual document and what it says and the graphic organizers. And quite honestly, I had to draw my own graphic organizer a couple different ways to fully understand the way everything fit together. It's a good document, and we're all going to be fine in the end.